If you are having a hard time after an abortion and want help from someone who believes in your choices, you are in the right place. I'm sorry you are hurting. Whether it has been 10 days or 10 years since your abortion, you deserve to create a sense of peace. I'm Charlotte Taft. I have counseled with hundreds of women before and after abortion. I want you to know that I believe in you and your choices. That means I know you are a good woman who did the best you could in a tough situation. I honor you for making a hard choice and for seeking help when you need it. You don't have to do this alone. I'm right here with you. It is my hope that every person who needs this kind of help will find this video series. Please click like to allow more people to find it. Over time, you will probably feel better whether you do this work or not. But feeling better is not the same as healing. When you heal, you don't forget what happened, but it doesn't hurt the same way. It is like a scar that has faded, not a wound that still feels raw. There's a saying, when you are going through hell, keep on going. This pain will fade. If you do your work, you can transform it. These materials represent my personal opinions gathered from years of experience counseling with women. Each person is different. There's no guarantee as to outcome. My counsel is not intended to replace the advice of your physician or any other trusted advisors. If you are suffering from emotional or psychiatric illness, depression, or suicidal thoughts, please complete this process under the care and guidance of a trusted counselor or physician. Please do not listen to these recordings while driving. This video is being created in the summer of 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Although many women feel a sense of relief and resolution after an abortion, others need a longer process of healing. Having a hard time after abortion doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. It means that you are human. A decision like abortion involves all aspects of your life. It is complex with many layers. If you have been keeping this a secret, especially from people you really wish you could tell, that makes it even harder. If you find yourself surprised at your feelings, or if you are now having new feelings that have surfaced after many years, you are not alone. We can't always predict how we will see things or what will touch us deeply and unexpectedly. The job of a grown-up is not to avoid feeling things. It is to manage what is actually in front of us in the best way we can, asking for help when we need it. So good for you for starting this process. Although each woman is unique, women who suffer after an abortion often have issues in common. In this video, we will be exploring several of these themes. I hope one or more will resonate with you. If you have not watched my first 3 videos before abortion, Making a Choice You Can Live With, you may want to look at those before this one. In those videos, we explore a wide range of thoughts and feelings about abortion. Even though you have already had an abortion, you may find some of those discussions helpful in the healing you are doing now. If you like workbooks, you might go to pregnancyoptions.info and use the excellent A Guide to Emotional and Spiritual Resolution After an Abortion. If you were very ambivalent about your decision when you had an abortion, almost split into 2 minds, you are likely in tremendous pain now. It is also likely that the subjects we address in this video will not really touch your level of regret. Remember, because you were so split, no matter what choice you made, it was as though you betrayed half of yourself. I suggest that you watch the videos called Women Split in Two. You may also wish to purchase a counseling session with me on the website store. Healing this kind of split is a bit different from the healing most women do after an abortion. Even if you don't usually keep a journal, it will be good to have some kind of notebook to write in as we do this process. So pause the video and get a pen and paper now if you don't have one.
Okay.
Remember to keep these materials safe if you want your thoughts to stay private. There's no length of time that healing is supposed to take. Each person is different, and each situation is different. We can learn some things from the way our body heals. Imagine you have skinned your knee really badly. At first it is raw and painful. You clean the wound and use bandages and antiseptic, but it hurts and looks terrible for a few days. Then the wound develops a scab and you take the bandages off, but it still hurts to bend your knee. Then the scab comes off and there's very tender skin underneath, so you're still aware of it, but you can go on with your normal life. Over time, that skin toughens up, but there is still a scar. The scar fades as time goes by. You might notice the scar and think about it every once in a while. You would not forget that experience any more than you will forget that you had an abortion, but your memory of it would be of something in the past. How you think of your decision and how you think about yourself will determine how you feel and whether you get stuck in the pain of this experience or truly heal. If you are thinking, I was forced to have an abortion that I did not want, or I did the worst thing I have ever done in my life, or I am bad and I can never forgive myself, or I don't deserve to feel better, you will feel very different than if you think, I was a good woman doing the best I could, or I took responsibility for deciding what was the kindest and most merciful thing to do in that situation, or I am proud of myself for how I handled that time. I know it took love and courage to make that decision. Or, after my abortion, I could have closed my heart and made it very hard, but I chose to forgive myself and allow my heart to soften and to open. Another thing to realize is how we process our decisions. Have you ever been on a diet? Well, imagine you are, and your favorite forbidden food, like an ice cream sundae, is right in front of you. It's likely that you can hear two voices. One says, go ahead and eat it. You love this. It's so delicious. You deserve it. And the other voice says, you are too fat. You have no willpower. Don't eat it. No one will love you if you are fat. You are bad if you eat it. If you eat the delicious ice cream, what voice do you hear afterward? Right. You only hear the angry, critical voice. Where did that other voice go? Sometimes when we have made an important decision, we only remember one part of what went into our choice. Are you noticing that the part of you that decided an abortion was the best choice for you has disappeared? I have a few questions for you to write about. You can activate the closed captioning to keep the questions on the screen and pause the video to write your answers. At the time you had the abortion, a part of you thought abortion was the best thing to do. What did that part want? We use the word abortion as if it were a single thing. Yet abortion can be different with different meanings for different people, or even at different times, depending on their circumstances. Many women find that they need more than one abortion. After all, we can be fertile for nearly 30 years. According to Guttmacher, a research organization, nearly half of all abortions involve women who've already had one. Sometimes women can forgive themselves for one time, but more than that seems like too much. If you are having that experience, you can go to my website, beforeandafterabortion.com, and find the resource 2plusabortions.com, especially created to support women who have had more than one abortion. No matter what aspects of your life or your decision are troubling you, we all live in a society in which we have heard that abortion is murder for nearly half a century. You could not count the millions of dollars that the anti-abortion people have spent trying to persuade good women that they are bad and that their choices are bad and wrong. We all know about advertising and how effective it can be. Even if you don't actually believe it, abortion is murder is stuck in your head, sort of like Nike, just do it. It is even in my head. So be kind to yourself if you are having some judgments. In our society, we have a dreadfully hard time with talking about and even recognizing our feelings. We often say, I feel that, or I feel like, or I feel as if, and then we say a thought, not a feeling. For example, I feel like you don't listen to me is actually a thought. Here's how you can share a thought and also the feelings that come from it. When I think you don't listen to me, I feel sad, angry, scared, and ashamed. Although we use many different words to describe our feelings, it is helpful to use very simple words: happy, sad, angry, scared, ashamed. It is a simple list, but not always easy to remember. Write these words on top of your page big enough that you can see them easily. Happy, sad, angry, scared, ashamed. You can also write this list down and put it on your bathroom mirror, on the front of this notebook, and other places where you can see it frequently. Happy, sad, angry, scared, ashamed. If I asked you who is in charge of your thoughts, you would probably say, I am. But when we are on autopilot and just living our daily lives, like most of us do most of the time, your thoughts will just go down old familiar paths. Then it can almost seem that your thoughts are thinking themselves. But you are having the thoughts. There is no it that is happening to you. You are happening to you. Your thoughts may be very self-critical, or may tell you that you are a victim, or may be looking for who to blame for the painful feelings you are having. Your thoughts create your feelings. So if you are feeling bad, notice your thoughts. What interpretations are you making? Using an example I mentioned earlier, if I think I was forced to have an abortion, what feeling or feelings am I likely to have? Look at the list. For most people, it might be sad, angry, scared, and ashamed. So, being in charge of your thoughts also means you have a lot of authority over your feelings. In order to use that authority, you have to get off autopilot and notice your thoughts. You are always going to be the one who makes the interpretations of what's happening in your life. One interpretation is not right and others wrong. They are just different ways of seeing the same thing. Human beings are so strange. Sometimes we make interpretations that humiliate us or make us terrified or furious, even though we are the ones in charge of our thoughts. If you are creating thoughts that are making you miserable, you can say, oops, those are not the thoughts I want to be having right now. I choose these instead. Then you need to make new interpretations. If you don't notice what you're thinking, if you're not aware, then you are at the mercy of your old familiar habits, the neural pathways that have been made in your brain throughout your life. Some of these old pathways or habits were made in your brain when you were really young in response to hurtful things that were happening. You are a grown-up now, and it may be time to make some new mind paths, new ways of thinking that work better for a grown-up person. I want to share one very important thought with you. If you are suffering and you have children, it is absolutely essential that you be honest with them while being age appropriate and protecting your own privacy. You can acknowledge that you are having a hard time without explaining the personal details. Young children have no boundaries. That means they take everything personally and think everything is about them. That is normal. Children are not born with boundaries that help them understand that your stuff is your stuff and my stuff is my stuff. For their own survival, they want to protect their parents. If you are very unhappy, don't try to hide it from them. Children are extremely perceptive, and they will know something is wrong, but they won't know what. They will be scared if they think you are not all right. So you must assure them that they are not the cause of or responsible for healing your sadness. If you don't talk about it, they may very well think it's about them, that they have done something wrong. So how could you talk with them? Maybe something like this. You have probably noticed that I'm feeling sad or having a hard time. I'm having some grown-up troubles that I'm working on. Sometimes I'm crying, and you know it can be normal to cry when you're feeling sad. I'm getting help when I need it, and I will be just fine. None of this is your fault, and it is not your job to take care of me. I love it when you give me a hug, but your job is just to be yourself. This conversation and others like it may need to happen several times, so pay attention to what your children need. This is nothing for you to feel guilty about. It is a very normal part of life. You cannot protect your children from their own feelings and their own losses. They need to have them. But it is part of your job to assist them in not getting confused between their feelings and yours. That is how you teach them how to have a boundary. A boundary protects them from being victimized and from victimizing others. The gift of a boundary is one of the most valuable things you can teach your children. They will not learn to have one if they don't experience yours. Let's explore your experience. Write about these questions in your notebook. Again, use the closed captioning to see the question on the screen. Pause the video after I've given the question to give yourself time to write. How long ago was your abortion? Please don't feel strange if your abortion was a long time ago. It is never too late to heal, and you have a right to create peace for yourself. How far were you in the pregnancy? How was the experience of the abortion? Were the medical people kind to you? Did it hurt? Do you think it was your idea to have an abortion, or were you pressured? What have you lost since the abortion? What has changed? Is there someone you wish you could tell about this, but you are afraid they will judge you or be disappointed in you? I'll pause the video to write. How are you doing? Are you having trouble sleeping or difficulty taking care of yourself and eating right? Have you lost interest in your life, even in your children, if you have any? Are you numb? Is that an experience you have ever had before? Are you having the same thoughts or memories over and over, like a little hamster running on a wheel in a cage, over and never going anywhere? Are you crying and thinking you'll never stop? Are you thinking you made the wrong decision? Pause the video and take a moment to write about what is going on with you. All of these things can be normal for a person who has had a complex, difficult experience. Healing or resolving the experience is a process, just like the physical healing we talked about when you skin your knee. It is painful, and of course you wish it would go away, but the way out is through. That means that actually letting yourself feel the hard feelings is what will allow you to heal. Nearly 1 million women have abortions in the United States every year. That means there are nearly 1 million stories. Although we are each unique, there are some things we have in common. The pain you are feeling now has many aspects, like a plate of spaghetti that you are calling having an abortion. In the next video, we'll pull apart the strands of spaghetti to see which part might be about your relationship, Which part might be about the critical voice you are hearing in your head, about a lost dream, lost innocence, about ending life? Which part might be sadness or anger or shame? Which part might be the need for forgiveness from God, or the baby you didn't have, or someone else, or the need for forgiveness from yourself? We are going to look at the word regret to see the different things that can mean, and we are going to explore the very important difference it can make to think of yourself as a victim of what happened or the author of your own life. We're going to end this video with a healing meditation that you can also use to help you go to sleep. Make sure you have a private place where you won't be disturbed for about 10 minutes. Get comfortable sitting or lying down with your head supported. You have taken a really important step in your healing today. Take a moment to thank yourself for your courage. How often do you notice how hard you work to be good and thank yourself? Now take in a deep breath. Hold it for a count of 1, 2, 3, and let it all the way out with a sigh. Good. Take a couple of more breaths like that. Now let your eyes close. As you breathe in safety. As you breathe out, release any fear you may have. Notice that you are standing in the center of a circle. Surrounding the circle are 4 open doors. The first door leads into a room that is painted a very soothing color. You can hear comforting music playing in the background. Your favorite artwork is on the walls. The only furniture is a large, soft bed like grandmothers used to have. The bed is made with downy comforters and lovely pillows. In the middle of the bed is the softest teddy bear you've ever seen. The coverlet is pulled down to make a space for you if you want to climb up and pull these beautiful covers up, snuggle the teddy, and go to sleep. The second door opens to a lovely park with a pond. The sun is shining, and there are just a few fluffy clouds. You can smell the flowers and hear the birds. The water in the pond is so clear that you can see fish swimming. There's a beautiful little bench by the pond with a bag of breadcrumbs to feed the ducks. No one else is around, so this place feels very private. This little bench beckons to you to come to this peaceful place, this sanctuary just for you. The third door opens into a room with people you recognize. Some are living, some may have already passed on, and some may be famous people you've only heard of. They are standing in a circle with their arms open to you, and they have made a space for you to join them. As you look at them one by one, you see that each of them is looking at you with deep kindness. You can feel that the love in this room is much bigger than any misunderstanding, disappointment, or judgment that may have been between you. And you know that you are welcomed, loved, and respected here, just as you are. As you look through the fourth door, you see a scene that represents peace and forgiveness and serenity. Everything about this room is exactly what you need when you are in despair or feel lost or critical of yourself. Every color, smell, and sound, every detail is just what you need to remember who you are, to remember your own goodness, value, and preciousness. You can see at a glance that this is the perfect place for you to find peace and comfort. Now choose the room you would like to go to and allow yourself to be there. Smell the smells and see the colors and feel the feelings that give you the most comfort. Let your breathing be very slow and deep. Breathe in peace and breathe out fear. Good. Feel your heartbeat get slower and become calm. Feel peace in the very center of your body. Good. Bring any loved ones, guides, or teachers you want into the room with you. Feel their loving presence. Bring to mind your worries and heartaches, and choose one that you will transform into a healing thought that you can take with you when you leave this room. You might choose to take the idea that you did the wrong thing and transform it into the idea that you are a good woman doing the best you can in a difficult situation. Thank the worry for helping take care of you. Now, with a deep breath, allow your fear to transform into a healing thought. It is so good to know that you will remember everything that has happened, and you can come back to this healing place or any one of these rooms anytime you want. All you need to do is to take a deep breath, touch your heart, and ask the healing part of you to take you there. Now, take another deep breath. Good. Feel that deep, deep peace that you can experience anytime you want. And when you are ready, open your eyes gently, feeling awake, alert, refreshed, and deeply peaceful. Your transformed, healing thought is still with you, supporting you and providing comfort. Take a few minutes to write in your journal about this experience and the thoughts and feelings that have come up. I hope this has been helpful. Watch the after abortion video number 2 whenever you are ready. I am sending you good thoughts for healing. This is Charlotte.